Hey guys! So I just wanted to quickly share what I was thinking about and was discussing with my friend just now. I'm currently in Palo Alto in California, staying with my friend who's a researcher at Stanford. And today I joined my friend for lunch along with his other Stanford robotics research group. These people are the top researchers in the world in this field of robotics and artificial intelligence. Today, the professor of the group joined for lunch and they were talking about their research and really geeking out on the various research topics that are ongoing in the field. And I really tried my best to understand what they were discussing, but I really felt out of depth today. Quite honestly, I was a little embarrassed that I have been a generalist for most of my life and that my best skill is having a broad understanding of many things, but nothing in depth in particular. That I don't have one field like these PhD folks who can deep dive into their field of study and zone in on that one thing. I shared my admiration for my friend to have found a field that he's obsessed with and can not get bored thinking about, as well as his profound understanding in the field of his research. But what was really interesting is that he told me that he actually feels a crippling anxiety whenever he goes to parties or in any kind of social contexts where there are people who are not researchers, because he genuinely feels lost about what he should be connecting on with these normal people who are non-researchers. He mentioned that he mustered up the courage to attend a party once and ended up standing in the corner for 10 minutes with another person who's also a researcher because he didn't really know what to talk about and couldn't really jump in on a conversation about the latest TV shows and movies and the minutiae of what the vast majority of other people like to talk about during parties. That's not to say that he does not know how to talk about the minutiae of life by any means, right? When I've joined them for lunch on the days where the professor wasn't present, his research friends always discussed restaurants and weekend plans and other things with his research peers. He said that he's able to connect with his research peers on those things because he's comfortable with them, number one. And number two, he always knows that there is the fallback plan of going back to the topic of research when they run out of conversation topics. This was really an eye-opening moment for me because, well, first of all, I really respect that he doesn't feel any kind of moral superiority or, look down on others for not being able to join in on a research topic of their field, because if I'm an expert in a certain field, I might feel like other topics are insignificant and not important to even cultivate the ability to connect on. But the fact that he rather felt insecure and anxious about his inability to connect on the everyday topics shows that he just doesn't have that I'm better than thou mentality that I think high achievers are susceptible to fall under. And number two, it really shows that every one of us just has our own problems that we are thinking about and going through. And everyone has their own insecurity. I was thinking about how dull I must seem to not be able to jump in on their conversation about robotics and artificial intelligence, like reflecting about myself on what am I obsessed about and can talk about deeply for hours and hours. But in fact, my friend was admiring me for my ability to connect on a broad range of topics, to be able to talk with anyone about anything, and felt like they were the weird odd ones out to not be able to talk to other people at parties or dinners or in social contexts. So I think it just shows how futile it is to feel insecure about what we don't have. Of course, we should strive towards becoming better and expanding our knowledge and complementing our flaws, but that is not to say that any one way is better than the other. My strength is to be able to be a generalist and understand many different things and connect with people with all sorts of walks of life. Whereas my friend's superpower is being a world-class top researcher in robotics and AI, being obsessed with that and being able to think about that for years and years and years and many, many hours throughout his life, and his eagerness to continue to study and research even at the age of 50. I felt like I haven't found that thing that I want to think about and do for the rest of my life, but I'm 26, and if I haven't found it yet, maybe I'll find it in the future. But maybe some people just don't have that one thing that they need to pigeonhole themselves into. Maybe some people are fine just being interested in many different things and find joy in connecting the dots between different topics. So I just decided to not let myself feel insecure about not being an expert researcher. Being surrounded by these brilliant researchers all week, I felt the need to, and generally being surrounded by academics, I tend to feel a certain way being the generalist that I am. But my kind, incredible, thoughtful friend helped me realize that I'm not the odd one here. He feels like the odd one to him. And maybe that just means no one is the odd one. We just live in our own universes and operate in the way that we do. And the world is vast and different and comprises of many different types of people. And that's what makes this world so multifaceted and interesting, and people so fascinating to connect with. So those are my 2 cents, and I hope that whatever you are doing, you don't feel like you are the weird one or lacking in any way, because guaranteed everyone feels like they're the weird one in some way. Thank you.